This is Walk Talk with Nancy.
Debate, belief, lifestyle, strengthen family bonds, hear from special guests, future.
Walk Talk with Nancy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Walk Talk. Welcome to Walk Talk. Okay, today our show is going to be pretty much on a current event that is happening, and a lot of us don't know the background to the story, so I want to go ahead and cover the story from top to bottom for you. Not that I know all the nitty gritty and all the details of the story, but nonetheless, I want to address something that is happening that is, sometimes well hidden, just. It is getting out of control. It is getting out of hand. The way that these things are coming out, the stories are coming out, women are coming out with what's going on and what's been going on in their life. And it is abuse. It is physical abuse, okay? So we are going to digest in physical abuse with a story that is circulating with it, which is from a young man that calls himself Minister Yada. Okay, Minister Yaden Yada. And we're going to address what's been going on because the past 3 days, this has been circulating that his wife is actually reporting him for being a abuser in their marriage, and that she has been physically beaten allegedly for the past 8 years. Okay, so this was someone that was on social media that was really out there just declaring how for a man and a woman to be in a marriage and pursue. We're going to cover all of that, but this is going to be our story today about physical abuse and hiding it well. Okay. And so, yeah, let's digest it. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with more of our show. We'll be back.
After reading The Fight Within is Won by the Spirit, my life completely changed. It's a journey to healing, and you deserve it too. Are you ready to launch a rewarding career in taxes? At Integrated Financial Investment Group, we are here to help. Join our 2-day Tax Preparer Masterclass this fall. We are hosting it on October 17th and 24th. Our virtual class will be hosted through Zoom on November 14th and 21st. You will get learning packets packed with real tax forms. Get ready for free persistence too. Turn tax season into your season of opportunity. Seats are strictly limited. Register today with i5G.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back to Walk Talk. All right, so we are going to dissect Minister Yada a little bit. Let's talk about who he is, what he does, and how he came to play. So supposedly, Minister Yada was someone that, back in the days, many, many moons ago, he was in the hip hop industry. He was known for, I believe, rapping and music and so on and so forth. So somehow he had an awakening. Okay, he had this life-changing situation that happened to him, which led him to change the trajectory of his life. So he got into business. He started going into holistic measures, healthy eating, mental health, all of this stuff. So just to give you a little background, so he offers alternative remedies for sickness, pregnancy, and daily wellness. He provides digital meal guides and produces designed for all type of health issues. He's a founder of Herbalist and educator, sharing global plant discoveries and healing practices all over the world. Okay, so this is what he's known for. But I think what really triggered everybody is, apart from his business, which is obviously a very healthy, line of business, and it's good that we know how to take care of ourselves and be healthy, and to have a young man coming from, where he come from, his history, we most likely would have adopted, loved it, and used majority of his products and so on and so forth. But I think what happened with Yada, Minister Yada, is that he actually got very wealthy in his businesses, through his businesses and business ventures, and anything and everything else he probably was doing on the side. He got very wealthy. And with wealth, most of the time, that spirit of mammon, oh my goodness, yeah, our church, Kingdom Living United, is teaching us on the spirit of mammon the past 2 Sundays. So yeah, so the spirit of mammon came upon him, and it no longer became, I made money and this is what I do and this is what I have, but it more became an ego thing, and it became this thing where he felt like I was the man, and I'm the provider and I'm the king of my castle, and look at me, I'm He-Man, right? So that is pretty much what happened to him through his wealth. He became very egotistical. He became, self-absorbed. And with that came the need for him, especially the religion that he was in, that came with the need for him to have wives and multiple wives and so on and so forth, right? So Mr. Yada made a lot of videos, a lot of videos about how a man's supposed to treat a woman, and how a woman's supposed to conduct herself, and how she's supposed to accept a man to treat her and be with her, and and give her all this lavish lifestyle. He even went on and speaking about how he pays his wife a salary, for the year, and then on top of it, give her some amount of money every time she gives birth, as a gift, and then of course, give her the lavish lifestyle, give her everything that she needs, give her everything that she wants, and they both promoted this lifestyle of theirs really well. They do the lavish things, and they have the cars and the big houses, and so on and so forth. But the major part of his presence online was for him to show everybody how much of a great husband he was, how much of a great provider he was, and so on and so forth. So now, fast forwarding now, 10 years, 8 years later, we're finding out 3 days ago that this marriage of this well-kept woman, well-kept marriage, was far from what we saw. And there was way more to the story than what we were led to see and led to believe. So Jada, which is Yada's wife, 3 days ago showed up on social media, black and blue face, and and professing and exposing Minister Yada as a abuser in their marriage. She went on to explain how the past 8 years, how he pretty much beat on her like a drum. If she did not do what he said, or act the way he wanted, or be a certain way, or whenever they would get into a confrontation, it would be physical. She even went on to share a text message where he broke her teeth, and she was in pain, and she texted him and told him, hey, from you beating me, you literally broke my teeth, and now I have to go to the dentist. And his response was just like, oh, okay, then just go to Dr. So and so, and that's who's gonna fix it for you. Just go there instead of anywhere else. It's like there was no remorse to, dang, like I did that to you. Like there was absolutely no remorse. And that showed exactly the true character and who he was. So she pretty much exposed what was really going on behind the scene of their marriage. Now, very often, well-kept women go through this, right? Especially when they're not the breadwinner, especially when they're not the ones that are, holding it down. They're not the ones bringing in the income. And, that man, their husband, gives them this dream and thought that, hey, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life, and I'm going to be your breadwinner and your provider. And, so we tend to, go into that lackadaisy. Okay, I'm always going to be well kept. I'm always going to be this woman of, of benefits and lavish life and trips and everything, but not knowing sometimes the relationships that we get into, the marriages that we get into, is one that is obviously, can be very toxic and need a lot of controlling from the man or the woman, whoever is the person that is in control of that marriage, right? So, with that said, we're going to take a break and we will be right back with more information on this story and also go into other situations and things of, you know, of abuse and how we can address it, look out for it, and assist those that are in need of deliverance and help from abuse. All right, we'll be right back.
I love how this DYS collection belt instantly elevates any look. The quality of the leather and that gold buckle detail are just stunning. I wear my DYS belt all the time. It goes with so many different outfits. Plus, it is incredibly comfortable. I love how this DYS collection belt instantly elevates any look. The quality of the leather and that gold buckle detail are just stunning. I wear my DYS belt all the time. It goes with so...
Hello, and welcome back. All right. So, we talked about Yada, who he is, their marriage, with Jada, and everything else under the sun. I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly. But nonetheless, you know who I am talking about. Now, did she not see the red flags? This is what, a lot of people are asking, and especially on social media, everyone is talking and saying, okay, is she that much of a victim? Did she know what she was going into? And, what is the story behind her even getting with Yada? So supposedly, okay, from what, again, my reading and my research, supposedly when she met Yada was married to another woman, and she was aware of them being married. So she still pursued that relationship with Yada. So apparently that was before his big boom. That was before he got very successful. So fast forwarding, she got with him, and I believe he ended up divorcing his first wife and marrying her. Then the success happened. Within that, I think there were a lot of things that happened, especially if a man was unfaithful to his wife and then was with you while he was married, being unfaithful to his wife, and then now, taking you as a wife. There's just certain things that should have gone on for you to say, you know what? That would have been a red flag for me. Okay, that's number one. And then now, throughout the marriage, from what I'm finding out, and again, my research, they actually, he decided to go ahead and marry another woman in Africa. Right? So he had another wife. So the history of having multiple wives and going back and forth with multiple women, all of that actually was ongoing throughout their marriage. So there were red flags there as well. And the same treatment that he was giving her, he was also giving to the other wives and the other women in his life. So this was not something that was always, just you and I, Bonnie and Clyde, me and you against the world. This for me seemed like this was a man that felt that he was titled, that he knew exactly what he wanted and how he wanted it. And he just went head on, regardless of what she feels, what she thinks, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of pictures and videos that I would see, and you can tell, like, in her face, like she sits there and she smiles, and she just acknowledges everything, and it's just like, yes sir. And I don't know, I used to look at those videos and think to myself, this woman is not happy. Like, she's not happy. You could tell, like, when he speaks about the money and what she got and everything, she's well covered up and she looks the part and she's beautiful. But you could tell there's something that's called the spirit behind the eyes, right? The spirit behind the eyes usually will tell you the truth. You can look at a person and they're smiling from here to there and they're just like, hiki kiki, but you can tell that there is definitely, fire starting. You can smell the smoke and that things are about to blow up. Like, you can tell. I've seen many, many, many women. I've seen many men that actually have portrayed this false happiness. And at the end, you would see that this was far from the truth, right? Again, I mean, from my first book, it's not what you go through, but how you break through, my autobiography, I spoke on, abuse a lot. And I spoke on, emphasizing and showing that false happiness. It's there. A lot of us do it. And sometimes it's not because we want to, but we want to protect our marriage. We want to protect our children. We want to protect, our sanity at times. And we are afraid of the repercussion if you do not play the part, if you do not play the role, if you do not act accordingly. So definitely, a woman like that have seen the signs. And I'm sure once the abuse started for her, she had a choice. We all have a choice, but she probably looking at it like, okay, this is probably the best that I can do. This is probably the best husband that I can have because he's a great provider. He is this, and that. She goes on and on with the list. And she realized, well, like some women said, I'd rather be rich and sad than to be poor and, to be happy and broke. And that is the mentality of a lot of women that stays in that relationship, that stays in that kind of abuse, nature. And again, abuse don't have to be just physical. Abuse can be mental. It can be, verbal. It can be spiritual. It can be sexual. There's so many ways that a person can chew you up, spit you out, and make you feel like nothing. There's plenty ways that they can do that, especially if the person is, a narcissist, especially if they are a manipulator, if they are self-absorbed. That can definitely take a toll on a marriage. It can definitely take a toll on a relationship. And so it can lead that person to think that they have no way out, no exit, even when the red flags are in your face, waving high and saying, hey, this is, who I am. But you turn, you act like you don't see it. You turn the other way. You're like, well, maybe I can change him. Maybe I can make him a better man. Maybe if he sees or if she sees that I'm a good person, she will, adapt to my way, or he will see that I'm a great wife and he will change. Maybe if I just really don't step on any eggshell, that, I won't get under his nerves for him to react. And then the final one we always say is, well, maybe it's my fault. Number one, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's something that I'm doing wrong. Because 9 out of 10 abusers tend to make us feel like we're the one that's the problem. We're the one that's doing wrong. We're the one that has this, this thing about us that they don't like. So we need to change who we are so we don't get beaten, so we don't get verbally abused, so we don't get, mentally abused. You need to fix you. You made me do that to you. Right? That's usually the saying, the words that an abuser uses to make you feel like it's you and you are the problem. Well, with every problem, there are solutions. Okay? This is what God is for, and this is where God steps in. So we're going to take a break, and we will come back with our final thoughts and conclusion about this show. We'll be right back.
I am thrilled to announce the new DYS Collection catalog. DYS collection is more than just fashion. It is about making a statement. Discover the ultimate brand to declare exactly who you are. Explore our exotic new styles today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back. So now we're back for our final thought in conclusion in regards to the abuse nature, what's happening with Yada and his wife Jada, and you know, the storyline and the turnout, right? And what is going to take for us to see some type of breakthrough in this situation, not just for them, but for every woman and every man that is going through abuse. Very often we tend to say, you know, it's women only that goes through this. And it is woman only, you know, that gets to plead their case. Most men do not talk about abuse because it's embarrassing, of course, for one. You know, for them to say, oh, a woman has been beating on me, a woman has been sexually, emotionally, mentally, verbally abusing me. It's one thing that most men will not talk about. Okay, ego and manhood will not allow them to express this situation. But nonetheless, it happens to all of us. It happens to both sex of, you know, of the spectrum. So, with that said, you know, Jada's story is something that we all gone through, rather our husband or a man, the relationship we're in, whether the man was wealthy or not, whether he was, you know, middle class, low class, whatever, women and all on all level goes through this, and we see it, and most of the time it ends up, you know, in death. It ends up in that person being, you know, 6 feet under. This is usually the turnout. But by the grace of God, you know, Jada was able to leave and walk away from that marriage, and the bruises, you know, on her face can heal. But then there's always that internal healing that needs to take place. And I think this is what a lot of us, we don't do. And we walk out of a marriage, we walk out of a relationship where there was, you know, significant amount of abuse going on, and we just say, okay, I'm just going to move on, and I'm just going to just go and go be with another person, and there's, you know, more fishes in the sea, and there's this and there's that, and that is so far from the truth, guys. It is so far from the truth, because what happened is when you walk away from one relationship, one marriage, and you run into another one, you run into the arms of another person, 9 out of 10, that relationship will not last. 9 out of 10, the hurt, the pain, the memories, okay, of what you just been through is still embedded in your DNA. It is still part of your DNA. One little thing that person says will trigger what that last person did. One thing that person will do will trigger it. And then you'll just go through this mental, you know, roller coaster of, oh my God, like, you know, is this person doing the same thing that last person did, and blah, blah, blah. And you go through that, and it is not your fault. You just did not take the time to heal. And this is why a lot of us, we tend to repeat the cycle over and over again. We tend to repeat the same person over and over again because we don't take the time to remove that individual out of our DNA. So what should you do? Well, first and foremost, and I speak about it in my book, The Fight Within is won by the spirit. You can get this copy on Amazon, or you can request a signed copy from me. My number is 305-910-7767. And you can just call me and say, Nancy, can you send me a signed copy? And I will send it to you. But this book here is really a great book for healing from abuse. It covers so much, from healing as a child, healing as an adult, healing as a man, healing as a woman, healing from all type of abuses from top to bottom. And with that said, there's a fight that brews in you. There's a fight that is within you. And that fight sometimes takes a lot more than just saying, I'm walking away and I'm not going to be part of this relationship. I'm not going to be part of this marriage. And this is the end and blah, 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 blah. That fight is deeper than what you think. It is spiritual. When someone comes into your life, and they just rearrange everything that is you. They rearrange everything that is considered to be you. You have to put all that back together again. All those broken pieces, you have to put them all back together again. And it is not an easy thing to do. And I am speaking to the choir, or I'm singing to the choir, because I've been there. I've been there. So, okay, Nancy, what did you do? When you went through yours, what did you do? First of all, what I did is I shut down everything that was relationship. I did. I walked away from suitors. I walked away from this man telling me, I've been waiting all my life for you to be single. I've been waiting all my life for you to no. I shut it down because I know that I would be no good to no one new in my life if I did not take time to heal. And I did this twice in my life. This was not like something that happened one time and I was like, okay, well, yeah. I just, no. Twice I shut down my life and I concentrate on my children. I concentrate on God. And I prayed and I fasted and I gave myself 2 years before I re-entered another relationship. And I did that not because I wanted to show my ex, I could do all battle by myself. No, this was not that all battle by myself situation. This was that all good with God situation. When you walk away from an abuse relationship, it is not that all bad, I could do all bad all by myself notion. You need to heal. You need to take the time, relearn you, rearrange your DNA, start to grow your edges back. You need to pray. You need to fast. You need to get close to those that really love you and was there for you. If it's a sibling, if it's a mother, if it's a father, if it's a best friend, get with that community that can help you heal. And while you're doing that, you're getting closer to God and you're seeking the face of God. And you're just like, say, okay, Lord, fix me, mold me, restructure me like a clay, put me back together. This is what you need to do when you get out of relationships like this. Because it is not just, okay, I'm out and I'm just gonna dust you under the rug as if you never existed. No, this is someone that has been in your life for years. This is someone that has downloaded everything about them in your DNA, in your psyche. You start to walk like them, talk like them, being like them, thinking like them. You have been programmed. So when you walk out and you decide, Lord, deliver me, and God gives you that way of escape and you take it and you run out, don't go run into another person. Go run to God. Go run to healing. Go run into the arms of people that really genuinely love you and want to see you win, that will give you that good loving, that agape love. Close to it. That's it. Again, do we not get the red flags? We do. Ladies, you know we do. Fellas, you know you do. From the beginning, from hello at times. From hello, you get the red flags. But it's up to you. It's up to you to say to yourself, do I go and try to change this person? Or do I leave and just let them deal with themselves and let them deal with what God has to do for them and in them? And when you are in it, do you leave? Yes. If you are in an abusive relationship, and I don't mean that you woke up today and you just don't like the way he walked, the way he talked, the way he act. It's not like, you just wake up one day and you're like, hey, whatever. No. That's not what I'm saying. Marriage is a sacred, sacred thing. You can work it out and stay in your marriage. I'm not telling you to go divorce your man just because he don't make you feel right or feel good for the moment. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, if you are in an abusive relationship, you are in an abusive marriage, and God has given you the way of escape, take it. Take it. If later on in life, he changes and you guys reconcile, and that's between you and God and him. But while you're in that abusive relationship and you see life and death is in the hand of your abuser, leave. Okay? All right. So with that said, that is our show for today. And I hope that this was informative for you. And of course, please do go ahead and get your copy, of my newest book, The Fight Within is Won by the Spirit. Or you can go and get my autobiography, It Is Not What You Go Through, but How You Break Through, on Amazon. And of course, you can request your copies, your signed copies, by giving me a call, 305-910-7767. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. And that is our show for today. Have a blessed one, everyone. Bye. Not what I'm saying. Marriage is a sacred, sacred thing. You can work it out and stay in your marriage. I'm not telling you to go divorce your man just because he don't make you feel right or feel good for the moment. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, if you are in an abusive relationship, you are in an abusive marriage, and God has given you the way of escape, take it. Take it. If later on in life, he changes and you guys reconcile, and that's between you and God and him. But while you're in that abusive relationship and you see life and death is in the hand of your abuser, leave. Okay? All right. So with that said, that is our show for today. And I hope that this was informative for you. And of course, please do go ahead and get your copy, of my newest book, The Fight Within is Won by the Spirit. Or you can go and get my autobiography, It Is Not What You Go Through, but How You Break Through, on Amazon. And of course, you can request your copies, your signed copies, by giving me a call, 305-910-7767. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. And that is our show for today. Have a blessed one, everyone. Bye.
This is Walk Talk with Nancy.
Debate, belief, lifestyle, strengthen family bonds. Hear from special guests. Future.
Walk Talk with Nancy.